crash, boom. Okay. Morning, everybody. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. One more time I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Nice singing, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, Linda, and thank you, everyone, for singing along. Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is nice to see you all here today. I am Reverend Rhona Segarra, and it is my privilege to be the minister, official minister, at this community of love and fun and support and open-heartedness. Welcome to all of you. And if you are joining us online, then welcome to you as well, whether you're watching live or sometime in the future. On behalf of all of us here at this little white church on the corner in New Westminster, British Columbia, a warm welcome to you. We gather here every Sunday to consider ideas for full and abundant living. We draw on the teachings of Jesus, who we consider our primary way shower and example, and we honor that there is wisdom to be found in faith traditions all over the planet, that there is wisdom to be found in our life experiences, in movies and in song and in books. And we're open to finding inspiration everywhere. All are welcome here. All are worthy here. All are celebrated here. And our goal for you, our dream for you, our intention for you is that your life will be characterized with calm, connection, and contentment. And that is what we offer ideas for. Let us begin today in a time of centering prayer. We begin with gratitude. Gratitude that we are on the traditional and ancestral territory of the Kakite First Nation. Gratitude that we could come together physically in this space, to laugh together, to sing together, to consider ideas for full and abundant living, and to be reminded of our connection to one another. Our connection to one another in the power and presence and intelligence that some people call God, others call Allah, Yahweh, Brahman. science, nature, life, the universe, creator. By whatever name we have for the intelligence, order, and creativity in which we live. We embrace the idea that it is one power, that there is no place that power is not, and that power includes and extends to each of us. We are part of the power. And it is in that power that we embrace our connection to one another, sending a blessing for love, for peace, for contentment and healing to every being, resolving to see beneath the differences that so often, too often, divide us, and instead insisting on seeing our sameness, our shared humanity. And for this time together, for this time to take a pause so that we can be reminded of our oneness, for this time, for this place, for this space, we give thanks. Amen. And I will invite Barb to come up and read the daily word for us, please. Amen.
Hello, I'm Barb. Today's daily word theme is forgive. I forgive and live lightly. Carrying the weight of unforgiveness and resentment may feel as though I'm walking uphill holding heavy bags. I may struggle with the load, feeling burdened and uncomfortable. I would rather go through life lightly, going along my way with ease. I can do this by incorporating forgiveness into my spiritual practice, committed to seeing my life's circumstances and all others from the level of spirit. I maintain my personal boundaries around people and situations that do not nurture my heart and soul, but I practice forgiveness to relieve myself of the burden of rumination so I can move forward and leave the pain of the past behind me. Having a forgiving heart soothes my mind and draws me closer to God. This reading was inspired by Matthew chapter 6, verse 14. For you, for if you forgive others their trespasses, your heavenly Father will also forgive you. And now let's sing the song, There Is Only Love.
In this moment, in this place. I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love. When I lose myself, when I feel I've lost my way, when I go inside and quiet my mind, I hear the Spirit say, there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love.
As we prepare our hearts and our minds to hear today's message, I invite you to close your eyes with me if that feels comfortable. And if it feels more secure for you to keep your eyes open, then allow them just to rest on a focal point in front of you. And become aware of your breath. Notice your breathing. Notice this rhythm of in and out, in and out, in and out. That so beautifully re-energizes us. That in and out that cleanses us. That in and out which calms us. Take a moment now to give thanks for your breath. And now notice your body. This amazing container of organ and bone and blood, muscle and sinew. This amazing organ of matter which contains your essence. Take a moment to give thanks for your body. And now notice your mind, your thoughts, which never cease. Take a moment to give thanks for your thinking. for your intellect, for the brain that fires in such interesting ways to help us form our experience of life. And then draw your attention to your heart, to your chest, to the place that we identify as the holder of our feelings. And give thanks for your feelings. And today, as we consider forgiveness, let us ask ourselves, what am I carrying that I cannot seem to release? A loss, perhaps, a betrayal, the end of a relationship, a loss of a sense of well-being. I invite you to notice whatever that weight is. And imagine it having a color. Perhaps it's red, orange, or black. And with your next breath, imagine breathing in warm light, gentle, swirling in this wispy way that we sometimes see in movies. And imagine that light gently surrounding that angry color. Connecting with it. Accepting it. And yet somehow changing it into something lighter. Imagine the release of carrying that heavy weight. Notice how it becomes lighter. And breathe it out. And then take another gentle, warm breath. And whatever is still remaining within you that is feeling heavy, allow that warm breath to touch it. And over time and over perhaps many breaths, trust that it will transform. Forgiveness is for me. Forgiveness is for me. There is only love. And love will heal. Love will set me free.
There is only love, there is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love. In this moment, in this place, I remember who I am, letting fear and worry fall away from me. I open my eyes and see there is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love. There is only love. There is only love. Love that heals, love that sets me free. There is only love.
The other F word. Forgiveness. A few weeks ago, we did a question and answer session, and I answered questions from all of you that you wrote onto index cards. And one of the questions that deserved its own, not that they all didn't deserve their own space, but this one stood out to me as a topic that I haven't spoken about for a while. Somebody asked, how do I forgive? For many of us, the word forgiveness lands like a swear word, doesn't it? It's like, ask me to do anything, but do not ask me to effing forgive them. The other F word. It can be uncomfortable, it can be loaded, and sometimes our reaction at the idea of some well-meaning person saying, you should forgive them, is just to put your arms like this and go, no. They've done me wrong, why should I do that? A few years ago, I was talking to my son about forgiveness. and mentioned that I was, at that time, preparing a talk on forgiveness. And the very first thing he said was, "No." And I'm like, what? That doesn't sound like David. And then he said, "No, people don't forgive often enough. They hold on to the hurt. They create a story about the hurt. Then they believe the story about what it meant, and then they hold on to that, and it defines them too often." And my thought was, wow, my son, how wise. Because in many ways, he just nailed exactly what the promise of forgiveness is, as well as the reason that we find it so difficult to do. Let me tell you my story. It is a story from 2016. And it's a story that even though I think I'm ahead and moving forward, there is still a hurt. And that actually is one of the things that you will realize about forgiveness, is that it is not always, it can be a snap of the finger and, oh, everybody hold hands and sing Kumbaya. But that's not how it normally happens. What normally happens is it's a little step by step opening of feeling the hurt, but not letting the hurt have you. And in 2016, I had been the general manager at the Party Bazaar, as some of you know, for many years. The owner was intending to retire. She offered to sell me the business. We went through a fair amount of legal stuff to make that happen, with letters of intent and then a shareholders agreement. And I went to the bank and got financing, and we got all of this stuff organized, and everything was going beautifully. Until she called me up one day from Arizona, because I was running the business. And she said, "How are you going to operate the business without the money that's from Halloween?" Halloween was like our Christmas, and this was about January, February. And I said, "What do you mean?" Our agreement was that the funds that we earned in Halloween stay in the business so that we can successfully operate through the lean months. And she's like, "No, that's not what we're doing." And my heart sank. Because everything that I believed about what my future would look like shifted in that moment. Worse, what shifted in that moment was my relationship and understanding of relationship with this person. And the feeling of betrayal, and the feeling of betrayal that came after, when I did some deep soul searching and some, like, what just happened, and how am I going to do this, and do I want to do this without this security blanket that we need, and like all of these things changed in a moment because the rules shifted. And what I expected was no longer a possibility. And call it devotion, call it codependency, call it whatever name you want. I was still prepared to continue working in that business as the general manager. But she didn't trust that. And so One day, I went from being a hero to being a zero, to being the person who is the only person I can trust to run my business, to this is a list of the things that you're doing wrong, and we have performance concerns about you. Long story short, I never went back to work there. My employment was terminated without cause. My sister, who some of you know very well, said several months later, that it was as if my whole reality cracked. And I was like a shell on the outside of an egg. And all the pieces were there, but they weren't solid anymore. My husband, needless to say, was up in arms. He wanted to write a letter, wanted to put it in the newspaper, like anything he could. He wanted vengeance. And me, I didn't know what to want. And yet, there was a part of me going, now what? And it was that part that saw me through. It was that part that said, you know, you always said that one day you were going to go back to school. That one day in the future, you will be a minister. If not now, when? And that set me on this path. Have I forgiven? Depends on the word. Depends on what you mean by forgiven. Because what I think of forgiveness, what I realize is that it doesn't mean that it doesn't hurt. What it does mean is that I am refusing to let it define who I am in a harmful way. Instead, I choose to allow it to propel me to a new future. And as time goes on, I find that when I tell the story, and I force myself at times to tell the story, and that may be like, why would you do that? Well, actually, I think feeling is where the healing is. Telling the story, sharing it, helps me to process it. But I'm hoping it also helps you to identify with a feeling of hurt or betrayal or shock that you may have experienced sometime in your life. Because what I realize now is that it was just life doing life. And there are times when people who care about us will do things that hurt. What I know is that this person who was once my friend is still someone who cares about me. I'm convinced of it. And one day I will hopefully express my gratitude. And I ain't there yet. I ain't there yet. Forgiveness isn't about the other person. It's about what we do with the feelings that we have and hold. the thing about forgiveness is when we hold these feelings of hurt and of anger and distress within us, it hurts us. There's this modern parable that you may have heard about two Korean War veterans meeting at a memorial service, and they had both been prisoners of war. And one says to the other, "Have you forgiven our captors yet?" To which the man who was asked the question turns to him and says with anger and vitriol and hatred, "I will never forgive them." And the first man says, "I wonder if you're still a prisoner." They still have you captive. Think of the consequences when we hold on to a grudge. And we all have them. Some perhaps less than others, but we all may have a grudge. Something from years ago, maybe from a childhood, from a teacher who was mean, or a kid on the playground who was mean, or a spouse, or a mom, or a dad, or a grandparent, anywhere. Or maybe it's something fresh that you're just holding on to about what somebody said or did to you. Notice that feeling. And consider the consequences when we hold on with that tightness and that resentment. First, when we're in that place, we cannot be present to the joys of life. In some ways, we are limiting who we are when we're focused so much on what they did. And yet, and I have said this often, and I will say it again, when I say I am the official minister here, the reason I say that is to remind you all that you are each a walking ministry. You are the ministry of Ronnie and Shirley and Diane and Dorothy and Nancy and Jerry. You are all, each one of you, a minister. You have the opportunity to minister to yourself. You have the opportunity to minister to others. And yet, if you are holding on to something so tightly that you're not open up to the idea of being a gift to the world, then that is a consequence that I would say is a tragic one. You're giving away your power. The other consequence, or another consequence, is that we don't see that there were benefits that may have been gained for us out of that horrible experience. For some of us, it may be that we had a horrible childhood, abusive in some way, physically or emotionally. And yet, you can turn that around and go, that is not how I choose to be in the world. It can inform you about who you want to be. And that will transform how you minister to the world. The other consequence of holding on so tightly to this angry emotion is, frankly, that you're just no fun to be around. If the story is always the same about how what they did is so bad and that's who I am now, and they're so awful and it's all their fault. Like, who wants to be in that company for more than about 10 seconds? Again, it's hiding your own light when you're no fun to be around. You want to be fun to be around. It's so much cooler. And here's another one, and it's just a thought. And that is, the other person may or may not be aware, and they may or may not care that you are in a place where you are holding on to that hot coal and hoping that they will feel it. Where you are drinking the poison anger and hoping that they are the ones who are going to get hurt. No. They've moved on with their life. They have new spouse with 2-point-whatever kids. They have new career path that you didn't get the job for, or that they climbed over you to get. Whatever. They're going on with their life. You're the one sitting in this stuckness in misery. Don't. Don't. It was Nelson Mandela, actually, who said that resentment is like drinking poison and hoping it will kill your enemy. So here's what Wikipedia says about forgiveness. Ready? Forgiveness is the intentional and voluntary process of changing feelings and attitudes towards someone who has wronged you, releasing negative emotions like resentment and vengeance. It is a complex phenomenon that can involve the cessation of anger and the renunciation of demands for punishment or revenge, often with the goal of overcoming the impact of an offense which may or may not require the offender's knowledge or the restoration of a relationship. Got it? Believe it or not, there's a lot of wisdom in this, and in some ways I'm grateful for the length of it, because it helps explain that forgiveness is kind of complicated. Because buried in this, what it says is that forgiveness is a process. It is not a, okay, I'm done. I went from darkness to light, all is well, let's move on. No, it doesn't always work that way. Sometimes it can. Sometimes the light of, oh, that's what was happening, can release things right away. But sometimes it's just a movement that we walk towards. It is an intentional process. It is a voluntary process. No one forces you to forgive. You want to do it for you so that you can move on with your life. Forgiveness does not focus on the other. It focuses on you as the victim, the person who was harmed. And it doesn't mean that you have to become best friends with them again. It does not mean that you have to go to them and say thank you. It does not mean that you have to marry them. It does not mean that you have to divorce them. It does not mean that you condone the behavior. Forgiveness does not mean that you forget. It means, this phrase, forgive and forget, you've all heard this. What if you forgive and focused forward? And let that be in your rearview mirror. So here are some ideas. The first one is just, you've heard me talk about the gap between reality and expectation. Mind the gap. Be aware that in our human experiences, from Alpha through Omega, from A to Z. Everything is included. And that means even the people who we think are perfect will have some shortcomings. I remember when I figured out that my parents weren't like perfect, that they actually had a few flaws. Accept that. Face the fact that there will be surprises in your life, and be less offended by that. I mean, you know the story of King David, the shepherd who fought Goliath with his 5 pebbles and is said to have written the Psalms and became the line of David is where Jesus came from. Well, do you know he was kind of a jerk too? Did you know that he saw Bathsheba on the rooftop of the nearby palace bathing, and he thought, I want me some of that? And so he sent his friend, who was Bathsheba's husband, to the front lines so that he would be killed, so that he could have Bathsheba. Does that sound like somebody that you'd want to think is like, this guy is perfect? I love the story of David. My son's name is David. I hope he never does something as horrific as that. But we are all of it at times. Be less surprised by it. And more of a, oh, that's just something that's part of who they are. That's one of the things that they do. I am really nice at times. And at times, well, maybe not so much. We can't forgive it until we just kind of look at it and go, yeah, I'd prefer to do that differently next time. So just be less upset and more practical about this. Rather than getting on the high horse, just get on the horse and get down the road. That's not in my notes. So here we go. How do you do that? Well, I was almost late today because as I was kind of looking at my notes this morning, I thought, I'm going to make this into fee-fi-fo fun. Because that's actually what this is. How do you forgive? 1, feel the feelings. To pretend that it doesn't hurt is not fair to you. So feel those feelings. Feel them. It happens once, though. That hurt happens once. Feel the hurt. When it comes up again, feel it again. But don't willingly hold it and kind of love it. Because that's where the harm comes. Feel it and then let it go. And when it comes up again, as it did for me earlier today, you all watched it. Feel it. Let it go. The harm is when we replay the incident and breathe oxygen into it and reignite it. Feel it. Then, fee, so that's fee, feel. Fi, find the blessing. In my story, the blessing is that I'm here, doing something that is much more powerful, much more important much more enlivening for me, and hopefully for you. Find the blessing that was the result. For you, it may be that you are free now to a different relationship, or free not to be in a relationship, or free to try another path of some kind, or free to find a different purpose. Find the blessing. What strength did you gain? What clarity, what degree of compassion can you now then share with someone else because of the hurt that you experienced? What did that teach you about who you want to be? This is going from whim to win, from woe is me to who I'm now. Find your blessing. And then focus forward. Have you ever thought about cars? And we drive forward and there's this big, beautiful, expansive windshield that we can look to see where we're going. And there's just a teeny weeny little rear view mirror just to keep an eye on what's happening behind us. Well, forgiveness is like making that rear view mirror smaller so that we can focus on the bigger picture. Lily Tomlin is credited as saying that forgiveness is letting go of the desire for a different past. Letting go, because, oh my gosh, we can't change what's behind us. But what's the size of our rear view mirror when we're holding on? It can actually obscure our vision. So, make that rear view mirror smaller so that you can focus with the gifts that you've just discovered on a new path forward, with a new purpose, with a new passion, with a way of understanding what your ministry and your gift is, informed by where you've come from, but not defining in a negative way who you are. And don't worry if you think that forgiving is going to make you look weak. It won't. Forgiveness is an act of strength. It's easier to have a big rearview mirror and to invest in all that stuff behind us. It's easier, and at times it can be juicy to hold on to all that stuff. It can make for a really great soap opera. But your life isn't a soap opera. We don't need that much drama. We just need love for ourselves. And that starts with letting go, with feeling our feelings, with finding our gifts, with focusing forward, so that we are free to have more fun. Feel, find, focus, fun. Fee, fi, fo, fun. I bless you.
It's the hardest thing to give away, and the last thing on your mind today. seems to always go to those who don't believe and they don't deserve. It's the opposite of how you feel when the pain they caused is just too real. Takes everything you have to say, the word. It flies in the face of all your pride. It moves away the mad inside. It's always anger's own worst enemy. And even when the jury and the judge say you got the right to hold the grudge, it's the whisper in your ear setting you free. Forgiveness. Forgiveness. Show me how to love the unlovable. Show me how to reach the unreachable. Help me now to do the impossible. Forgiveness. It'll clear the bitterness away. It's a breath of air, a brand new day. There is no end to the power it can do. So let it go and be amazed by what you see through eyes of grace. The prisoner that it really frees is you. Forgiveness. Oh, forgiveness. Forgiveness. Show me how to love the unlovable. Show me how to reach the unreachable. Help me now to do the impossible. Oh, I want to be finally free. Show me how to see what your mercy sees. Help me now to give what you gave to me. Help me now to do the impossible. Forgiveness. 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 Oh, forgiveness. Thank you.
Hi, everyone. I'm Pamela, and here are today's announcements. Please join us from 4 p.m. to 4:45 Zoom tomorrow for Monday meditation. We check in with each other, enjoy a guided meditation, and we uplift and acknowledge each person as we read the names of the people on our prayer list. To add a person to the prayer list, please fill in the prayer request slip in your welcome packet, send us an email, or submit a prayer request on our website or app. Christmas time is near. Here is the calendar of events for our Christmas season, which you'll find in the handout in your welcome packet. Some dates to note. Our annual sadness service will be on Wednesday, December 10th at 7 p.m. This is a gentle Christmas gathering for anyone grieving or feeling sad or lonely this season. Our annual 12 Powers candlelighting service is on Thursday, December 18th. This beautiful evening service weaves Charles Fillmore's 12 Powers with the heart of the Christmas story. And mark your calendars for Sunday, December 21st. We'll hold our third, maybe fourth, we've lost count, no rehearsal, all ages, interactive Christmas pageant. It's our hilarious retelling of the Christmas story. We laugh, we sing, we may find ourselves on stage, and all are invited to dress up as your favorite Christmas story character. No lines to learn, no pressure, just pure festive fun and a whole lot of spirit. Bring your family, bring your neighbors, and bring your sense of humor. It's a lot of fun. Our brown bag fundraising raffle will be held on Sunday, December 14th, and we're now collecting items for the raffle. Do you have something lovely that you would be happy to pass along? Please bring your new, unused donations to the church by December 7th. Thank you for your generosity and creativity. More information is in the pamphlet. It's the most wonderful time of the year. It's time for the annual Purdy's Chocolate Fundraiser. After another excellent year of sales last year, our amazing Cindy Noble is heading up the campaign for us again. You can place your orders by following the link on the QR code on your screen or go to fundraising.purdys.com. Click on Follow a Fundraiser, then register to joining our group. Or place your order with the paper forms, which are here today, and give to Cindy. Our deadline is next week for orders, Sunday, November 23rd, and orders will be ready for pickup on Sundays starting December 6th. The new Westminster branch of Family Services of Greater Vancouver is looking for toques, gloves, boots, gift cards for ages 18 months to adult. We'll set up a collection box in the community hall. Please bring in your donations by December 14th so we can help support families in our community. Unity of New Westminster is completely self-supported, and we are grateful for your gifts which support our community's message. Many of us contribute with pre-authorized payments, which are especially helpful for our budgeting. If you are not placing anything into the contribution basket today, please bless it silently. When it comes to you, then pass the basket along. For our online viewers, you'll find a donation link in the description of the recording. And please like and subscribe to our channel so we can reach many people. Please give freely from a place of abundance and gratitude. Thank you. We are so blessed.
I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed. One more? Okay. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. I am so grateful. I am so blessed.
Thank you. Aren't we blessed to have such beautiful music? Linda Kidder. Wow, wow, wow. Thank you for being here, and thank you, Barb, for reading the Daily Word, and Pamela for reading our announcements, and doing double duty because she's doing the camera as well with Stuart. Yay, thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you to the people who work in the office. Thank you to all of you for being here, for all who do things behind the scenes in setting up, taking down, and making coffee, and like all the little running around that get done, running arounds that get done. We are truly blessed. And we are super, super, super blessed because Lidwina is back after what feels like way too long. So I'm so happy to see you looking so healthy and big smiley face. For those of you who aren't able to be here in person, the Edwina smile is as wide as ours right now. It's going from one side of the room to the other, and we are so happy. Let's move into a circle, and we're going to sing our peace song together, and then the prayer for protection. And I will be back in 2 weeks.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be, with God as Creator, family are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me.
I am the light of God, I am the love of God, I am the power of God, I am the presence of God. Wherever I am, God is. I am the light of God, I am the love of God, I am the power of God, I am the presence of God. Wherever I am, God is. You are the light of God, you are the love of God, you are the power of God, you are the presence of God. Wherever you are, God is. You are the light of God, you are the love of God, you are the power of God, you are the presence of God. Wherever you are, God is. We are the light of God, we are the